we just wanted to have a little debate about this stigma about 50 onwards, really, isn't it? Because, I think there is this stigma.
There is, yeah. I think people think once you get to a certain age, you have to behave and act your age. But no, we ain't got time for that.
Well, then that would make us 5.
Well, that is very true, actually.
To all the ageing ladies out there, the elders of the world, the 50 pluses, the 40 pluses, do not fear. We are here to let you know that life has just begun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there is no age limit to having fun and living your life and so on and so forth. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think when we were kids, we did loads of shit like you do.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And then you have your kids, you have your marriages, you work and work and work. And then you get to an age and you think, well, actually, up here, I'm still really young. Okay, the body tells me different. But up there, I'm still sort of teenage. So I'm going to be acting like a teenager.
That's what we've actually done, isn't it?
Well, we've done a lot.
Yeah, we have done a lot. So when we turned 50 last year, it is pretty amazing what we've achieved, really. We had lots of kind of boundaries in place and stuff.
And now we're just quite naughty, aren't we?
We're very naughty. We've done things that would make your toes curl.
Things that didn't make my toes curl.
And the things we can do with shoes.
Oh, no. But that's another story.
That's another story. The point of the matter is like, we've gone back to a part in our life where we had to be quite adulty, didn't we? We've been adults for a very long time, and a good friend of mine, Toad, pointed out that, we've been through, we had to grow up very quickly, and so on and so forth. So we're sort of like, now our kids are older, we can experiment a little bit more. But it took a little bit of courage, didn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
God, yes.
It took a lot of courage to come out.
But you and I, we bounce off each other quite a lot. Which,
damn straight.
Which is a really good thing.
Yes.
Because there's certain things I wouldn't have done that you do.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So we kind of bounced off each other quite a bit, haven't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are just we're rolling with it. We were going to go roller skating today, but the weather's a bit pants, isn't it?
Yeah, not only that, but, you get to an age and your bones start to hurt.
We do have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, and I was a bit worried in case I put my hip out and if I fall, it's just going to be a bag of shit on the floor. See, I mean, the NHS is pretty stretched as it is. Can you imagine that?
Oh.
Me going into A&E with bloody legs in and everywhere. waiting in a chair for about 25 hours to get my hips sorted out.
Getting a pressure sore.
And then it's like, well, how did you do that? Roller skating.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's...
Yeah. See, because...
climbing trees.
It is sad about... if the government only put more money into the NHS, it would be so much better. What they need to do, I think, I always think that we need to go backwards in order to come forwards. What I mean by that is we can learn a lot from the past, and we've advanced so much, but then what's happened, like with the NHS, instead of having the matrons and that in place, the good old-fashioned matrons that would run the wards and make sure all the nurses were cared for, and there was a tight ship. Now it's non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, now, you've got the junior doctors on strike.
Yeah.
And I think junior doctors, you're not actually fully qualified yet.
Yeah.
Surely to God, you knew the wages and everything before you went into that.
Yeah.
It's like carers, like we are.
Yeah.
You don't think, well, the money is shit, but I'm still going to do it, and then in a couple of years' time moan about it.
Yeah.
We know what it's like, so don't do the damn job.
Absolutely. I mean, because obviously you are an employed carer. I'm an unemployed carer. I'm a carer. I'm a special carer. I'm a carer. So I am how can I describe it? my daughter has profound disabilities, so I've been out to work, I've re-educated myself, but I can't do things. I have to be here. Not because I have to be, well, yes, I do have to be, but I am devoted to that part of my life. However, I can allow somebody else to come into our home and I can get them £10 an hour. I get 9p an hour. I've had a heart attack. I've had a hernia. My body's battered and broken and bruised. I've had near nervous breakdown. I've been isolated. And on top of all that, there's lots of positivity. But what I'm saying is...
Thyroid problems?
Thyroid. I've got a hypothyroid issue, which makes me quite porky and sluggish. And it's an autoimmune disease. But that's just...
And then you put menopause on top.
And the menopause! Yeah.
And then it just goes to shit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And then you got a battle with the system over the most fundamental basic needs. And I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that can relate to that. What I'm saying is that my point is lost. I've lost it now.
Oh, mate.
I forgot what my
Put that
point
down to
is.
menopause because you have like the brain blip.
I was going somewhere with it, but I can't
I think
remember
it was
where
talking
it
about
was.
like the NHS.
The NHS and the fact that it's stretched and that there's people out there that are saying they should go on strike. What my point was is that if carers like us went on strike, it would be fucked. Absolutely fucked. I can't just walk out on my daughter because I'm only getting 9p an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got to carry on doing it. I mean, even when I'd had my hernia operation, I had a day of rest and I had to get back on with it. You know, when I had my gallbladder out, it was the same. You know, when I had my heart attack, I was still looking after my daughter in the middle of a heart attack. You know, you have to just get on with it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just the way it is. You can't just keep on throwing in the towel every 5 minutes. You just got to roll your sleeves up and get the fuck on with it.
See, I think that the government forget about, you know, like people in your situation.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know, they're your kids and you have to look after your kids, you know. But if they've got disabilities and stuff, it's like, oh, just get on with it.
Yeah.
They're your children.
Yeah.
But everybody needs help.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, then you've got the people from the government that are sitting on their fucking asses. Oh, I'm just, you know, get the likes of us to pay loads of tax to pay for their fucking second house.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've got people, normal people, inverted commas, that are struggling.
Yeah.
Really struggling, have to go to food banks.
Nurses go to food banks as well.
Go, you know, they're getting bloody evicted. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It doesn't make any
fucking
sense.
Country, it's gone to shit.
It is, because going back to my point about like the matrons and stuff like that, what they've done is they've replaced that with white collar workers, so they're not on the ground running. They don't know the environment that they're living that they're working in as such. They go around with a clipboard, and I'm not undermining them in any way, but I do feel that you need to have a bit more of the old-fashioned system in there, where you've got that regimented, well-oiled machine working.
Well, you know,
Organisation, basically, and communication.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the job that I do. I mean, I work in different sort of areas, and yeah, we can work in hospitals as well. I won't do that. Yeah. But the carers, you know, the things that we do, if we did that in a hospital, we would actually be nurses.
Yeah. Basically.
So it's like and then the actual nurses are then gone up and doing the jobs of doctors.
Yes, I was going to say that.
You know, and the HCAs like me would be classed as nurses.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you can understand why sort of like the junior doctors are going on strike. I understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they had to work through the pandemic and all that lot, and it was stressful, and
but
I
we
understand
all did.
that. But they get paid a lot more than what I do.
Yeah.
No, I work for an agency, so it's people think agency get a lot more money, but they don't. It's a company we work for that get the money.
Yeah, exactly.
We get paid just as much as everyone else.
I know that for an absolute fact, because when I was looking into getting some additional help in to help Sammy after, because I think my back had gone as well and all that stuff, and it's my family that said you need to get more help, because I've always been fiercely independent, and I'll do it, not wanting to ask for help and stuff, and people are afraid to ask for help, because sometimes when they do ask for help they get ignored, and you do have to shout really loudly, you do have to put it on, like, hang on a minute, you know, mental health and physical health and all of that, because that's before we reconnected properly again. I think we were both in bits of ruts, and I was just barricaded in, and you get into a mental mindset and stuff like that. My point's gone again. It's not a very good conversation. Sorry, it's the thyroid and the menopause. Fucking hell.
I think we were sort
this?
of like talking about the NHS and oh fucking it, I don't know. I don't even know myself.
We're trying to have a really serious debate.
But yeah, I mean, I think it actually started off as women.
Yeah, because I worked in the community as well. I was at university, and I was working in the community, and I was looking after Sam, and I didn't really have any PAs or anything like that. And that sounds really wonderful, doesn't it? Oh, we got PAs and all that. Because Maria, my darling here, she helps while I've nipped out. Maria's been here. She's got Sammy sorted for me and stuff like that. But I'm not complaining about any of that. What I'm saying is that the system is so fucked up that it ignores people, and the only time that I would ever get recognised as a carer is if anything went wrong with me, because then they would have to then come in and see how Babs is, and people might argue that and think, well, you know, it's your daughter and all that kind. Yeah, she is my daughter, and she's the love of my life, but I am only a human being at the end of the day, and if the NHS hadn't a fucking compressed her cord, Sammy wouldn't be in this position. Do you know what I mean? But you know,
yeah, exactly.
But then
That's
they've also
exactly
been incredibly helpful to us as well. You know, I've got no complaints there. They have been there when we've really needed them as well. But the fact of the matter is, it is very stretched. It's very sad to see something that's been such a fundamental backbone of this country going down the pan, because I think mismanagement and bad choices on the government's part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Labour could do a better job than the Tories. I just don't know. You don't know who to believe.
I really don't.
No, I just think, yeah, you're all full of bullshit.
Yeah, I
Get us to bloody lead the country. I tell you what,
Yeah.
you got all these politicians that go to Eton and all that bollocks that
It's
don't
money.
know
Money,
the
money,
real
money.
world, do they?
No.
Get somebody like us to do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll sort this freaking country out.
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm going to
Maria
go...
to run.
Yeah, vote Maria. There's no good me getting up on the podium because I'll forget what I'm saying. I'll be Joe Biden. Yeah. I'm Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's because
I'll just
I've got
write your
so many
speeches for
thoughts.
you.
Yeah, I've just got so much shit going through my head. I'm thinking of cups. I'm thinking of t-shirts. I'm thinking,
Oh no, your head's full of all these creative ideas.
selling me underwear. We're doing it all. You know,
I'll be doing
to make it making money, we've got to do a bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
because we get paid shit.
Yeah, we do. I appreciate that we do have a good country in the sense that there is help there if you do need it. It can be a struggle to get it sometimes, but we are very lucky in comparison to other countries.
But the NHS is literally just going to go.
Yeah,
And there's, to be
I
honest,
think they're trying to privatise it personally.
we're not going to have an NHS
No.
much longer. And you've got those.
And that's sad.
Yeah, but I tell you what I think would work. This is my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I sort of like, you know, had a stupid little fucking accident, and I was like, I need to go to A&E.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting in there for 20 odd hours probably.
Yeah.
And then you've got other people that are going in there for stupid things.
Yeah. A splinter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, those are the people I think that should be charged.
Yeah, I agree with you actually.
You know,
yeah.
and then you'll find a lot less people in the A&E. Okay, if it's something serious, then fair enough, obviously.
Yeah.
But something so pathetic and stupid, you are wasting the NHS money. So we're going to fine you for being an arsehole, and we're going to put that into the NHS.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time you ring an ambulance and it's for just a fart, we'll fine you, and that go back into the NHS.
Yeah.
You will find that there will be hardly anyone in these hospitals.
I think also the drunks.
Mm.
You know, and the NHS staff do get a lot of abuse and have to put up with a lot of shit. But I remember when Sammy was in intensive care, and she'd been moved out of ICU into a main, well, not a main ward, but a separate ward. It was just her in there at that point. And my sister and I, we went in because we couldn't stay there. We had to go, come back. I mean, I was back and forth, God knows how many times a day. And basically, the nurse that was tending to Sammy, who was in a very critical condition, was pulled away because some bloke had been pissed and got stabbed. And I mean, I hope he was all right in that, but it was scary. He was handcuffed to the bed. No, I think he'd stabbed his family or something like that. And yeah, police guards round him. But my daughter was in a right pickle, and we were left to get on with her.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not medically trained. You know, I'm as good as a nurse like yourself. You know, I've had to do speech and speech and language and all that stuff. And it's a great learning curve and a great tools to have. But the fact of the matter is that my daughter was in a very vulnerable situation and was left there to tend to somebody else who had got pissed and decided to have a meltdown. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's another subject.
Or we're going to get some right comments on this at some point.
Prisons.
I tell you. Oh, prisons. What do you think about
Prisons and, criminal sentences and stuff.
Yeah,
That's another one.
that is another one. I mean, that's it. There's no consequences. There's no consequences now. If you do a terrible atrocity to another human being, then basically you should be punished for that. You know.
I reckon we should have that on the next one.
Yeah,
I think we'll end it now.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back on and we're going to have another debate about.
We're going to talk about that.
About the law and prisons and what we think should happen.
And I'm going to remember everything I want to say.
Oh, if you don't, I'll remember for you.
She'll back me up, won't you, darling?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Love ya.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later.
Who's turning it off then?
Oh, I think I will, but I don't know how to do it. Is it that one?
That one.